Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the LA Lakers play the Clippers tonight. Yeah, the Clippers, the ones who just traded for James Harden. That's who we play tonight. Unfortunately, for those who want to see James Harden's debut, he ain't playing tonight. He's gonna have to clear his what do you call that? He's a physical, and I don't believe that they're gonna be able to do that in time for tonight's game. So it's a lot of players that are going to be potentially missing. Gabe Vincent is doubtful for this game. Rui Hachimura is not playing. Vanderbilt's still out. And for the Clippers, I believe just about everybody that they've picked up in the trade, except for James Harden, is day to day. It's possible they play. Petrov, I don't know his name. I didn't have him in the initial trade video that I made, but I did find that they added another player from Philly, a European guy that's now a Clipper. I think his last name is Petrov or something like that. He's day to day. PJ Tucker, day to day. Terrence Mann may not play in this game tonight. He is also day to day. And Kawhi Leonard, yeah, he's also day to day. They said that he was a little tired in the last game, had an off game, so there's a chance he doesn't suit up for tonight's basketball game. But yeah, we're playing the Clippers, man, and we don't win against the Clippers very often in this era. I don't think we've beaten them, but probably like once since Kawhi's been a Clipper, Paul George and them. So that is a big, huge task tonight to try to get our first victory against the Clippers in quite a while. Well, to be honest with you, the Lakers haven't played that great. We are 2-2, so we're very happy with our record, given the fact that we haven't played great. Played against the Orlando Magic, of whom also the Clippers last played as well. And we got through it. You know, I told you guys in that game I didn't get a chance to see most of the fourth quarter, but we did close it out, and we were very excited about our team just simply getting a win despite not playing all that great. Now, who has been playing great for us is Anthony Davis, averaging about 25 points, really going crazy since the Denver game where he didn't score in the second half, but we've enjoyed what we've seen from him. He's rebounding the ball very well in the last two games. Of course, his defense is always on point, so he's got to give credit to Anthony Davis. He's come into this season with a very, very good conditioning regimen, coming off the offseason from having, just really taking care of himself. And now we're in a space where we're seeing that pay off. Given the fact that we're undermanned, I'm wondering what's going to be the case for the Lakers in regards to our rotations. Now, I know we would likely see more Christian Wood. Maybe we see one of the Maxes tonight. But we're down a lot of forwards, and of course with Gabe out, it's just going to push us more so to the forefront or rather to the back of our bench, see what we can do. We have plenty of depth, but Darvin doesn't really like to use some of those guys yet. And I do think throughout the course of the season we're going to see Max Lewis, Max Christie, and Castleton, and all those guys. But he hasn't gotten a chance to really use those guys as of yet. So tonight may force him to use somebody of that name list, and hopefully we can get good play out of them and beat these Clippers. You got to pay attention to a guy by the name of Bones Highland right now. He's playing really well. He's slipped into the starting lineup since they moved Covington and Morris, and who else did they move out? Batum has also been moved to the Sixers. So you got Bones Highland, who's already playing very well to start the season, now slipping into the starting lineup if things stay the way they did in the last game against Orlando. The Clippers beat Orlando by about 17 points, didn't have any trouble with them. And it's all because Paul George is playing like an all-star, man. That dude is balling out of control as we speak. And Russell Westbrook is also putting up really big numbers across the board, playing very comfortably in that starting lineup with the Clippers. And, of course, we're going to see a handful of those guys tonight since everybody is so short-handed. So be ready for them. Zubac has been kind of soft from what everybody's been saying. I'm just going to pull the Band-Aid off. I've been paying attention to a lot of what Clipper IG has been talking about, and they are kind of frustrated with their center position right now. But we know what Zubac can do. He's playing against his old team, and just like everybody else who's been seeing us who used to play for the Lakers, they're likely going to have a good game tonight. So we need to be very aware that he's kind of, I'm not going to say slumping, but he's due, put it like that. And if Kawhi isn't out there, it's going to be upon other guys to do more. Now, Kobe Brown, one of my favorite players in the draft, is with the Clippers, and he did have, I think, double-digit minutes. I don't remember exactly how many minutes there were, but he had a big role in the last game against Orlando, given the fact that they got guys who slipped out and guys who are going to be not playing tonight because of the trade. we're probably going to see some Kobe Brown, and he's probably going to play very well. So I just want people to be ready for that kid. He is really good. I think they're running him at the small forward, but he can play a bunch of positions, center, power forward, and small forward, in my opinion. So be ready for him. He's a playmaker. He can dribble a little bit. He's scoring the ball. He defends. He doesn't really have too many holes in his game. He can stretch the floor some. He's just a really good player. And so, I think Ty Lue's going to be forced to use him tonight if Kawhi for sure is out, for which we don't know. But, that's somebody you pay attention to. And like I said, with Terrence Mann being out, we're just going to see more Bones Highland, more Paul George, more Russell Westbrook. They're going to play a lot of minutes tonight because they're a little short. That's where my head is in regards to this team. Of course, you got to watch out for Norman Powell because that's somebody who's a microwave scorer coming off the bench who can do a lot of scoring. If I didn't mention that he's a microwave scorer, that dude can score. Like, seriously, Norman Powell can come off the bench, score 25 points with ease. So we're going to see a lot of him tonight with the absence of everybody that's missing. And so we got to be ready to defend tonight. It's not going to be enough to just try to score the ball against the Clippers. They are going to try to defend against us. Even though some of those defenders that they had, they really did ship off. Batum and Covington were very much a big part of their defensive core. And those guys are Philly Sixers now. So I obviously don't know what they're going to look like. I don't think they know what they're going to look like tonight, to be honest with you, because the Orlando game they played still had Covington in the starting lineup, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, this is going to be a test of the Clippers' starting unit. Try to incorporate some new things into what it is that they do, and maybe we can catch them off guard. Problem is, we got the same problem, but at least we know Braun is going to be playing. He was probable for the last game, did go, and he is not on the injury report at all tonight, so he'll be a go. Austin Reeves will likely get more minutes with Gabe Vincent being out and Hachimura being out. So hopefully Austin can shake off his really, really, really cold shooting as of late. He didn't play overly fantastic against the Magic, and he definitely didn't play any good against the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. He was 1 for 12 in that game. So he was a little better against Orlando in terms of his shooting, but all in all, he's just in a horrible slump. So hopefully he can snap out of that tonight against the Clip Show. So, that's really what it is. I want to see more Christian Wood tonight. Definitely somebody who's been helping us on the boards as well. Blocked 3 shots in the last game, if I'm not mistaken. And he just hasn't been getting the minutes that could really solidify how well he's actually been shooting the ball. He was perfect, basically, against Sacramento, and we barely put him out there, if I'm not mistaken. That was the Sacramento game. He went 3 for 3, and we had him like 15 minutes, something like that. So that's kind of how it's going with Darvin Ham. He's just not really leaning on the hot hand. He's sticking more so to the plan of the rotations that he had in mind prior to the game, in my opinion, rather than adjusting to what he's seeing and just letting guys run that are hot. So there may be a good science to that, but as far as I can tell, you just want to win the game you're in. And I want to see the hot hand, whoever that may be, get leaned on a bit more tonight against a team that we really, really, really would benefit from winning against, not only from a schedule standpoint, but from a psychological standpoint, having lost to the Clippers as much as we have. Same city, obviously. You just don't want to lose to them this year. You want to beat them every single time you see them. And so I don't doubt that they're going to be a better team than us going forward now that they've incorporated James Harden into the mix. But since he's not going to be playing, we better steal us a win from them now. That's my attitude. Terrence, man, all these guys are going to be missing, maybe even Kawhi missing. If all they got is Paul George, Norman Powell, Bones Highland, Russell Westbrook, Zubats, etc. If that's all they're really running out there, then there should be no excuse for us not beating them. As I said, they played the Orlando Magic in the last game. They've really only lost one game, and that was against the Utah Jazz. And to be honest with you, I just think the Jazz depth really got to them. They played most of their guys like 40 minutes, and the Jazz were able to kind of give everybody 20 minutes. So they just kept getting layers of waves of players coming at them. And I think that's the best way to do it against teams that don't really want to use too many players. Overall, you're just going to wear them out with different looks. Unfortunately, though we have all the depth in the world, that's not how Darvin Ham is running this show. He's only trusts a few players, and he's only sending out a few players, and as a result, we're only getting a little bit of production from our bench. And so I don't love how this has gone, but I know he won't be able to lean on some of the players that he's been leaning on these last few games, with Gabe Vincent being out. Specifically, he wants to give Gabe all the minutes. You know how that goes. So Gabe is 6'2". That's definitely gonna play a lot. So That's really what it comes down to, man. We want to see players get opportunities tonight since we're so short-handed. And against the Clippers, no better time than to deploy some new players since they're deploying new players as well. Or guys they rather not use as much because of the shortness of what they have at this point. Russell Westbrook, we talking about old Lakers. Obviously, he's going to want to kill us. You know what I mean? And we also know that he has some very serious weaknesses, so we know how to play him. So that's really what it comes down to. Be ready for him to come at you, driving at the rim. He's going to drive to get to the line. We know that he helped us with our fast break points and our points in the paint basically almost by himself when he played for the Lakers. If he wasn't doing nothing at all, he was driving, and it's going to be very difficult for our personnel tonight to stay in front of him. I see that coming. That's obvious. We don't have a soul that can stay in front of him, so we better be ready for that backline defensive help. And if we're running small ball lineups, then it won't be there. He's going to attack and kill us. So we better have Anthony. I would think it's a great night to run some big lineups, At the end of the day, Zubac is a very big guy, 7 feet, 260, 270 pounds, something ridiculous like that. You don't want to have Zubac and AD constantly on one another. AD doesn't have enough in his back pocket to really deal with people of that size. He's going to do a great job, but it can also wear him down. So I want to see some other lineups out there that allow for Christian Wood to play a little more, Jackson Hayes to play a little more. If you want to play Castleton tonight, I think it's a good matchup for Castleton to get some run. And I just want to see some big lineups, even though Rui Hachimura is going to be out. Of course, as we've already mentioned, we're still down some guys that could help us. But small ball lineups against the Clippers is probably something that we're going to get beat doing. They have small ball lineups that are essentially better than our small ball rotation. That's what it really comes down to. They can run 5 guards and do fantastic against us because of who those guards are. So we need to be very careful not to try to match up size-wise with them, thinking that our small ball has any chance against theirs. It does not. So that's just what I really know. I understand that fully. At the end of the day, these Clippers are 3-1, man. And although they're missing some very key players that they traded away, they're still going to be out there with guys that could come at us at a very high level. So if you don't respect Paul George tonight and you don't understand that he's been playing fantastic through 4 games, then you're going to by the end of the game when he's run you out of there. So that's just the rhythm he's in right now. He's in a very, very elite rhythm for himself. His legs are fresh. It's still early in the season. No knick-knack injuries. He's playing like PG-13. And that is not a good thing for his opponent. So Kawhi coming off a bad game, like I said, he may play, he may not. But don't expect for Kawhi Leonard to have 2 bad games. If he gets a good day's rest, so to speak, they said he was tired. If he rests up today and plays tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if he has 35 points because that is Kawhi Leonard. And like I said, they're undermanned, so they're going to be leaning on others more. So Bones Highland is in a fantastic rhythm. As we've already said, he's basically having a breakout right now, and the minutes are there. So look out for him to be dancing and shooting threes and stuff like that. We know what he can do. We've seen him enough times. And as I said, they got a short rotation tonight. So if we can get some guys in foul trouble, we can start exposing some of that bench that they'd rather not play. Got a couple rookies back there they don't want to have to play. That's what we want. We essentially want to expose them while we can, because next time we see them, they'll likely have every one of those Hall of Famers on the floor at the same time. And I suspect they're going to be very difficult to beat from night to night going forward. So this is going to be one of the last nights someone's going to be able to get an easy look at this team. I ain't going to say easy victory, but a look at them without James Harden on the floor. So, we just got to accept the fact they put together a super team here, man. They really did. I don't know if the team necessarily fits, but James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Russell Westbrook is a serious 4-man tandem, man. That ain't nothing to play with. And because I know that Bones Highland is really good, because I have a whole lot of respect for Norman Powell, because I know that Moses Brown kid is back there, Terrence Mann can really play, especially defensively, I don't see why they couldn't be a contender this year. Zubac's, elevator can go pretty high, rebounding the ball, good free throw shooter, solid, sturdy defender at times. They should be a contender from here on out, man. So we want to get this victory. We definitely want to steal one because you're going to want home court advantage against the Clippers, even though it's the same building. It ain't the same energy. You're going to want that. So, yeah, man, we got to beat our contenders, man. We got a chance to get one against Phoenix. Obviously, we beat the Orlando Magic. But we lost that Denver game and we lost that Sacramento game. We want this Clipper game. Let's go up 3-2 rather than go down 2-3 against them, and start this road trip off afterward. You know, we got a road trip where we go Miami, Orlando once again. We'll be seeing Phoenix, and I think there's another team somewhere slapped in there. It might be Cleveland. I think that might be Cleveland. But we got some pretty sturdy games ahead. So playing against the Clippers is just one of many difficult games on our schedule early in the season, and more than anything, this one matters the most because of who we're facing and because of what they just did. So, you know, I want to see the Lakers take care of the basketball. You know, we haven't been turning the ball over particularly badly, but we want to, you know, continue to take care of it. Shoot the free throw. You know, the 3-point shot has not been falling like it did in the preseason. That's a little disappointing. Hopefully we can get back to shooting the way that we know we should. And you know, just understand that interior scoring is something that we can do. This is not the greatest shot blocking team in the world. They have traded away some defenders, and we should be able to get on the inside and do some work. D'Angelo Russell shot pretty well against the Sacramento Kings for the most part. Did damage against the Orlando Magic. I think he was like 10 or 14 with 8 boards or something of that nature. I need more good D-Lo out there, drawing fouls against guys, outsmarting guys. That's what we're going to need, especially since we're going up against such lethal scoring and such energetic players. We can't have a flat game from him, given how shorthanded we are. Anthony Davis, of course, needs to give us 4 quarters of offensive basketball as well as his defensive consistency remaining. LeBron James is going to have to get involved in these games. I know he may be a little tired at times, just off of sheer wear and tear over the years. But this is one of those games where we're going to need him to have his thinking cap on and his Superman cape on. That's really what it comes down to. We are going to have a very difficult time competing with this Clipper team, even shorthanded, if he's not playing his best. And I would say that he's been assisting better. His shooting has still been subpar from behind the arc, but he's really been putting pressure on the rim, and I really have appreciated what I've seen from him overall. So, you know, these are things that we're thinking about, man. It's going to be very unfortunate we don't have Rui out there defensively. It's going to be very unfortunate we don't have Vanderbilt out there defensively. These are players that should help us overall get some stops, as to which we just won't have that. So it's going to be incumbent upon guys like Taurean Prince to play well. He's been kind of lackluster these last couple games. Haven't been in love with what I've seen from him. Hopefully he has a bounce-back game where he's shooting very well and defending well as well, because we're going to need that against those forwards over there. So, yeah, once again, not a great matchup for the Lakers. Even without James Harden, even with them trading away a bunch of defenders, I still don't love our matchups against this particular team. We really need AD to go off tonight. To solidify this victory, in my humble opinion. It can't be a 15-point, 10-rebound night from AD. That's not going to cut it. You got to give us 30-plus tonight, or we're going to be going down. That's just what I know. Westbrook, Zubac, all these old guys from the Lakers, they're going to want to beat us. They're going to beat us tonight. They're going to beat us every night. So if anybody was ever motivated to show the Lakers up, it's those two. Simply put, those two. Zubac, who we traded away for a bag of peanuts overnight when we couldn't get AD. So we decided to just send him out for no damn reason. Just a stupid trade. Worst trade I ever seen. Besides the Gobert trade, that is. But the second worst trade I ever seen. And then, you know, Westbrook, of whom we saw how that went. Everybody saw how that went. He ended up a Clipper and has been playing very well for them. So he's going to want to tear us apart, you know, at the end of the day. And hopefully he shoots poorly, has some flashbacks of his time with the Lakers, and just doesn't do well. I believe the floor is Lakers tonight. I believe it is. I don't think this is a Clipper home game. I think it's a Laker home game, but I do not know. I'm not going to even pretend like I know. Either way, we know it's a Staples Center, so you'll know the floor when you see it. Or Crypto.com Arena, whatever. You know what it is. So whether it's a home game or a away game, either way, we get to run our regular routine, of course, since it's in that building. And hopefully that means our guys will be comfortable on that floor regardless. So that's really what I got to say, man. No James Harden tonight. Possibly no Terrence Mann, possibly no Kawhi Leonard, but you never know. Anybody can be a late game decision, with the exception of James Harden, who's been officially ruled out at this point. So Gabe Vincent is doubtful, and that's going to affect our rotation in quite some interesting ways. Hopefully that means some minutes for the Maxes, and maybe even more minutes for D'Lo out there. And so staying out of foul trouble is important. Transition defense is important. You know. What else? This is a lot of stuff, man. We got to rebound the ball very well. Of course, we're going up against some very good rebounders. Paul George is a fantastic rebounder. Kawhi Leonard, Kobe Brown, Zubats. They all rebound the ball very well. So we're going to have AD in the upper 15 to 20 rebounds like he has been these last 2 games. So, yeah, man, got to rebound the ball. I want to see Bron crash the glass tonight. You know, we're just going to need that without our big bodies. We're going to need glass crashing tonight. D'Angelo Russell's capable of getting boards. We're going to need that. So, crash the glass, LA. And, yeah, that's really where my head is, man. Looking forward to this matchup. It's always fun when we see the Clippers, man. Even though they've been beating us a lot, we love beating them. So, hopefully we can finally get ourselves a win against these guys and send them home crying. So, that's what I got to say, man. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching.